Okay. Before we start today's video, I do want to say, for those who don't know, I post a video every Tuesday and every Thursday. It is Thursday at 9:09 p.m. I completely forgot today was a film day. So I just came up with something random, and we're going to be talking about some Moto news that's happening in the world. And this is going to be today's video. Stay tuned for the next video and the video after that. I promise you guys those two videos will be worth watching. But honestly, I did kind of want to make this video because just to talk about everything that's happening. I'm a motocross rider and I love watching motocross riders, and there's a bunch of stuff happening in the moto world right now. We're going to go over it. Number one is there's this new rider that just came into town. His name is Jorge Prado. This guy is going all around the motocross community, and his story is actually kind of cool. So for those who don't know, there's two main types of motocross racing. There's Monster Energy Motocross, which is in the States, in the US. And there's MXGP racing, which is outside of the States. And a bunch of other countries. They travel across all the different countries. Named Jorge Prado. And he was racing for Red Bull KTM. And he was racing for them for a decent amount of years. And he decided that he wanted to come to the US and he wanted to start racing Monster Energy. He's been racing MXGP for years and he just wanted to try something new. Now, he didn't want to leave KTM when he wanted to come over to the US, but KTM wouldn't let him leave. When he told his team over at KTM Racing, his team said, basically, you're not going anywhere. We want you to stay here and race for us. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to try something new. He wanted to try something different, unique for him. And he wanted to meet, new people. He just wanted a different environment. So everyone is very happy about the decision that he made, and so am I too, because KTM can't really, his racing team shouldn't really decide where he goes or not. I mean, obviously this is a very big change, and I understand why maybe his mechanics and his, all of his people managing his racing probably thought it wasn't the best idea. He wanted to go, and they wouldn't let him. So he told KTM, basically, goodbye, and I'm going to go to the States, and I'm going to go find something. Once Jorge Prado landed in the States, the first racing team, the first dirt bike brand to reach out to him was my favorite, Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Pro Circuit Kawasaki gave Jorge Prado an amazing offer. I believe it is only a 1-year contract with Kawasaki, just so that way he could kind of decide if he wants to stay with Kawasaki, go somewhere else. It is a 1-year contract with extensions, meaning after the 1 year, Kawasaki will be more than happy, obviously if he has a good year, will be more than happy to re-sign him if Jorge Prado wants to. Jorge Prado is going to be racing the Kawasaki KX 2025 450 SR, which is my dream bike, and he's going to be rocking the number 70. Now, we are going to talk about this right behind me, which is his injury update. So, Jorge Prado did have a pretty gnarly crash at practice. SMX Supercross Instagram stated that he had a pretty gnarly crash at practice, hit his head pretty hard, but is otherwise healthy. A lot of people were worried not seeing him in Anaheim 1 and skipping out a few races on his first ever season here in Monster Energy Supercross. Monster Energy Supercross confirmed that you will most likely see Jorge Prado at the gates in Anaheim 1. There's two more riders we're going to talk about, both being Yamaha riders. The first rider is this jackass right behind me, Hayden Deegan. I say he's a jackass, but he's an amazing rider. His personality is just absolutely garbage. He's a very cocky rider, but you know what? He kind of deserves to be cocky when he's one of the best riders out on the track. The chances of Hayden Deegan winning the SMX Championship 250 class this Supercross season, I would say, is about a 90% chance out of 100. Hayden Deegan, once he wins his next Supercross champion on the 250 class, he's going to be switching over to 450. Speaking of 450 Yamaha rider, this brings us to our next topic, which is this 450 Yamaha rider, Eli Tomac, which is sadly said he's going to be retiring at the end of Supercross/motocross season. Here's my hot take on this, and I think it's going to happen. This season, Eli Tomac retires, Hayden Deegan wins the championship, now goes into 450. Obviously, there's going to be a spot for Hayden Deegan because Eli Tomac's going to leave. They're both teammates. Hayden Deegan is the number 38. Eli Tomac is the number 3. I guarantee you within the next couple years that number 8 on Deegan's plate is going to go away, and he's going to be rocking the number 3. I don't know. The number 38 is kind of like the whole Deegan legacy. I mean, it was Brian Deegan's number. Now it's Hayden Deegan's number. Even Hailie Deegan even rocks it when she's in NASCAR races. Maybe the number 38 will stay, but for me personally, I think there's a huge chance that within the next few years, Hayden Deegan's going to be taking Eli Tomac's number after he retires. Speed running this video while we're also on the topic of more Yamaha riders. Christian Craig is back to Star Racing Yamaha after only basically a half a season with Husqvarna. With Star Racing Yamaha for the Supercross season. Once motocross season happened, outdoors, he went to Husqvarna. Outdoors is now done. Now he's back with Yamaha. I don't know if his intentions were to stay with Husqvarna just for the motocross season and then go back to Yamaha, or if he was going to stay with Husqvarna for forever or for many, many seasons, and then Yamaha just pulled out a crazy number in front of him and they won him back. As he is back with Star Racing Yamaha, everyone's excited to see him back. Christian Craig he's a popular rider, but he's getting old like all the other guys. I mean, we could talk about many of them. Jason Anderson, Eli Tomac, Christian Craig, Cooper Webb, sadly even Ken Roczen. All these new guys out there, Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Tom VL, Hayden Deegan, all these new riders out there that are on 450s and 250s. They're just putting all these OGs to shame. This is the shortest Moto Daily video to ever live. If you guys don't like this type of video, if you guys thought it wasn't worth it, go take a shit in your hat, because it's 1 in the morning right now, and I've been editing this for like 40 minutes. It took me 40 minutes to edit a 7-minute video. I'm sorry this was such a terrible video. Please, please, please stay tuned for the next YouTube video. It's going to be worth it.